This is Brother Chooch for Outside the Bunker. And we don't mince words. And we look to see what's going on in the world. Oh, almost tripped over the tarp. And we are indeed outside the bunker, as you could tell. I don't know if you could see. We are out in no man's land right now. It is chilly night. Like I said, outside the bunker is about getting to the point, say what you have to say. You can see the full moon behind me. We are in no man's land right now. I am by myself out here. It is nighttime. It is dark. There's some dogs barking in the distance, but it's just me and you and the Lord right now. And so wanted to get this report out to you as I am outside the bunker. As you could see, what's going on after the elections, it's been a lot of optimism and people are excited about Trump in there. But I will say this, is that I think what we need to do right now is to focus on between now and the inauguration. The question is, what's going to happen? And I don't know that, and you don't know that. So when it comes to watching for the end times, you have to look at it in such a way where you can't take anything, and I mean cannot take anything for granted. Now, Trump is getting, I guess, qualified good people for his cabinet, which is great. But we don't even know. We don't know for sure if the inauguration is going to go on as scheduled. So I want to share with you a couple things that I feel like we should look for between now and the inauguration, right? Because we know that Satan is a spoiled sport, and he is a sore loser. And so I do not trust him or his agenda. What are the possibilities? I think one thing we have to look for is that, and I just don't want to pick on and say Democrats, right? Because whether it's Democrats or Republicans or just people in general that are not saved, we just don't know for sure. We just don't know for sure what the enemy's schemes are, because the enemy can try to influence and manipulate and control lost people. And so one question might be right off the bat is, between now and the inauguration, will there be some sort of a crisis? And what might be that crisis? It could be economical. It could be social unrest. It could be a health crisis. We know what that's like. And that is something that, if you've been alive in the last several years, know that the world came to a screeching halt back in 2020. And so there could also be a war, a world war, like World War III. Let me see if that helps a little bit, if I shut that. So I don't know. Things might go as planned and smoothly for Trump's administration, and he might just fill his cabinet and everything gets handed off nicely. But when you're watching and you know you're in the end times, I think those are dogs. They're either dogs or hungry wolves. Could be coyotes, I don't know, but I hope they don't like Italian food. So what I would like to do, and I encourage you to do, is watch and pray very carefully the next 6 or 7 weeks. We're going through the holiday season. A lot can happen. And it's not just about the United States, it's about the world. And if there's such a thing as globalism and those who want to push a new world order and a globalistic agenda, just be careful, because you might see that there is not only issues going on in the United States, but there's issues, I don't want to get lost here, there's issues and circumstances and powers that be around the globe that could come into play here, okay? Because we know that at least Trump and his administration seem to be nationalists. It goes against the globalist agenda. So the other thing that we got to be very careful about is there's already been one very serious assassination attempt on Trump. And there was a second one that was thwarted. Iran even talked about, I wish those dogs would be quiet. Iran even talked about having some sort of a plan for that. So can that happen? Could you imagine if that happens? I hope it doesn't for sure. But could you imagine if that happens, what sort of chaos will ensue? Whew. Oh my goodness. So it is cold out. So if things go and some sort of crisis happens where the Republicans cannot get in, Trump cannot get in, I have no idea what that might look like. But it's a real possibility. And even if Trump gets in, like I said, and like I have been saying, it doesn't mean that the end time plan that God has scheduled and has appointed to happen will be delayed or not happen at all. I'm a staunch believer that no one thwarts God's schedule, plan, and agenda. And I believe that that's the same thing, right? The same thing that you should do is don't focus on completely what you think that is apparently happening in the world. Rather, we know first and foremost that God is in charge, right? Israel is a prominent player in the end times. And so we have to see what happens between them and Iran. That's unsettled business. Things are still completely not even close to coming to a conclusion in regards to Hamas and Hezbollah. I will say this about Trump, and this will be, I believe, bye-bye USA. If Trump pushes a two-state solution and tries to get Israel to sacrifice portions of Jerusalem, a portion of Jerusalem, and start splitting up and giving land over to the Palestinians, I think that's going to spell bye-bye to the good old US of A. I think USA will be under harsh judgment if Trump goes that route. And I would not be surprised if he goes that route, because now you got Kushner back into the scene and are talking about something, not the deal of the century anymore, the deal of the millennium. Could you believe that? What is this deal of the millennium? What does he have planned? Obviously, it's going to involve Israel, and it's going to more than likely create a situation where Israel, who's been in war and in conflict with her enemies around her, may just say, we're done, we've had enough, and we will compromise and forfeit our land. Now, there's people who think that that won't happen. I think that it's part of the end time agenda that the land of Israel, portions of it, like the West Bank and part of Jerusalem, gets divvied up, and Palestine gets they get their state. And so it's the two-state solution, right? You got Israel, now you got Palestine. There's already some European countries, don't get old. Whew. There's some European countries already who have acknowledged Palestine as a state. Okay? So we're seeing real end-time things play out before our eyes. Do you see why I come out of the bunker? I need to talk about these things. And so what's my hope? My hope is in Jesus Christ. My hope is in the rapture of the church. Before this covenant that will be confirmed with the many, we are out of here. I believe we're out of here prior to that. But I don't think that there's much space between the covenant with many, that's confirmed with many, and the tribulation. I think that starts the tribulation period. I don't think there's much time between the rapture and the start of the tribulation period, which would be the agreement to that covenant. That could be done behind the scenes. That could be done at the UN. That could be done out in the open. But I don't see like the rapture happening and then we're waiting like 6 months to a year. Listen, I'm not the Lord, so I don't know for sure. This is a better angle so you don't get my double chin. Much better angle. Look at this. So if the two-state solution, incoming. See the plane? No matter where you go, they're keeping an eye on you. Yeah, mind your own business, please. Carry on, nothing to see down here. When you think about, so nosy some people are. Oh yeah, shut your engines off like I won't be able to see you. So when you consider this situation that just happened, Trump got in. It was quite a surprise. He's in office, and there is no one that God has used in recent history more than Donald Trump to forward end-time scenario with Israel. If it wasn't for the Abraham Accords and all the things Trump did in his first time around, we wouldn't be nearly as close to this ultimate strengthening of the covenant. I believe the strengthening of the covenant is based on a covenant that has already been established, and it's the Abraham Accords. And I think Saudi Arabia is a big player, and Saudi Arabia said, we're not even coming to the table until Palestine's acknowledged as a state. So all the pieces are falling into place. I think the question really is when. Now, personally, I think we're going to be into 2025 before this happens. It's just, I'm still sticking with the typologies that I love in Scripture, which I see is spring, summer, late summer. That's, I see as the biggest bang zone for rapture. Let me say that again. Spring is certainly a candidate, but summer to late summer is even a stronger candidate. I really like seeing it happen in the time of the wheat, and when the wheat is about to meet the wine. But to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to a cold, hard winter of waiting. I'm hoping that the Lord comes. But the tribulation period, I know, is going to start some year. I believe it's going to start some year in the fall season, because I see all the last 3 fall feasts being fulfilled at the second coming. And so the tribulation period would have to start in the fall in order to end in a future fall. So a lot could happen between now and the inauguration. A lot can happen between now and the summer and fall of 2025. Things are moving quickly, guys. It seemed like the bat of an eye ago, we were celebrating January 1st, 2024, wondering if this is the year. We are about a stone's throw away from 2025. So we're going to watch. We are going to pray. We're going to hope. We're going to keep looking up. And hopefully, got the nice moon in the back. Let me see if I could get it right there. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? There's some cloud cover tonight, but it's creating like a bit of a halo in the sky, if you could see. Yeah, a little bit of a halo. We will continue. We will continue. I know I need to get back in the bunker, guys. It's getting a little bit too dark and scary out here. So I'm going back in. Talk to you soon. God bless. Bye.